Welcome to Build the Weight Loss Practice of Your Dreams. I'm your host, Carol Clark, and I cannot believe we are already on the fourth week of our intensive topic all about how to be the weight loss practice that people love. So we've been spending this whole entire month of February, depending on when you're watching this, we've recorded it throughout this month of February, but we've talked about brand loyalty and your opportunities. We've talked a lot about the risks and benefits of being the weight loss practice that people love. We also talked a lot about anything is possible and some different, very specific examples about how you can create a practice that you also love, and also how to deal with some of the frustrations that come along and decisions that have to be made. And today we are finally to the exact steps of how to create and how to be that practice, that weight loss practice that people love. And there are 7 main steps I'm going to tell you about. And I will also include specific examples for each, and still try not to keep this too long. But the first one, of course, is not going to be a surprise, but that is hiring a caring and diverse team. And this is so important just because, as you know, they are your ambassadors, your team is, and they are the ones who help to build your reputation and to build your brand. So it's got to be very carefully considered. And I will almost always hire for someone who has customer service, and I can tell is just really great interpersonally with people versus somebody who just has a specific skill set, with the exception of clinical positions or something that's very technically specific. Other than that, I can usually teach people the technical side of it, the computer side of it, the software side of it. We can teach them that, but it's hard to teach that customer service skill, even though it can be done. And I know there are lots of organizations out there that do it really well, you know, whether it's Disney or Chick-fil-A or whatever place that you believe has really great customer service. It is teachable, but it's one of those things that is often a little bit more inherent. So I will generally, if I see somebody who has great customer service skills, I will pick that. And people are having trouble right now, no doubt, finding great employees in your practice. The practices that I work with all across the US are finding particular success with Indeed is one place, word of mouth, and not being afraid to have your current excellent team members asking around for anyone who else might be interested in working for your awesome corporation. We've been tweaking a lot of different ways people are hiring and how they're getting the information, how they're doing some video things and some other screening tools to really make sure you have the best candidates. So there's lots of different ways for that hiring aspect of it that are working right now. And then obviously having a great onboarding process, which we've talked about on other different trainings, and we really dive a lot deeper in membership about that, or one-on-one together. But hiring a caring and diverse team is really helpful, having people from all different ethnic and backgrounds, because it helps just with that whole being able to relate to a variety of people who are going to show up in your practice. It also helps not to have all the same employees, different employees who have different backgrounds, be it personal and professional, bring different ideas to the table. And it really can help in your practice to build a practice that a variety of people that people can love. So not having a total homogenous team can be really helpful. So that's my first one. My second step for how to build a weight loss practice that people love is to know who you want to serve and clearly define what their needs are. So this does go back into a little bit about your vision, which we talk about, and knowing who it is that you want to serve. I work with some physicians who want to work primarily, believe it or not, with particular athletes, even where they just want to hone in their nutrition. I work with physicians who want to be primarily online, some that want a hybrid, some that want to have products, some that don't want products, some that want to only do surgery but have some other way to offer medical weight loss. There are so many different ways for people to build your practice that you want to make sure that you know who you want to serve. And you also want to make sure that you then know what they need in terms of their top pain points and what they're purchasing and what they need, and then building your program around that. That's the second thing, because then you're going to attract those patients. You're going to have just the right service offering for those patients. It's just a much better marrying up, so to speak, of what you offer with the people who need it the most. The third step is to really focus on your unique strengths while establishing your unique services and products. And with this one, I do encourage you to make sure that you do include your team. If you're a physician who likes doing procedures, you like doing different things that are very technically oriented, or surgery or procedures, whatever it is, then you may offer different services than somebody who really dives into the whole, counseling aspect of it, really loves just that whole diagnosis and treatment, really likes the medication side. We all have our own areas of genius. So you can't do everything, and include your team when you're creating these services and products, but make sure that you're speaking to your unique talents and your unique services that you want to offer. So that is really important, and it will also increase, once again, attracting the right people and also enjoying your practice. The fourth step is to provide outstanding customer service to your patients. So this is critical. It really is important. That's what builds this relationship. Brand loyalty is, as we talked about before, not a logical decision all the time. Quite frankly, not very often a logical decision. It's more of an emotional decision. So you really do need to make sure that your customer service is really high, and that you're not worried about, what so-and-so is going to say on the phone when a patient calls. You need to make sure that you've got some scripts initially to get people going, that you have people who are positive, who are able to take a disgruntled patient or somebody who's just not having a great day and listen to them and turn it around into a positive, to be a supporter. These things are what patients notice, and it's what they remember. So it is really important. Oftentimes I'll talk with different physicians, and they'll maybe have a worry or concern about something that's going on with a particular team member. We walk through how to manage that, how to also make sure that they have a good mentor that can help, they can model their behavior behind, how to monitor that, and that sort of thing. But you want to make sure you've got that excellent customer service for your patients. If you are developing things and you always think about it from a patient's perspective, it tends to make this really easy and sort of a no-brainer thing in your practice. The fifth thing is to create rewards and or referral programs. This helps them feel the love. So you can have a rewards program we've had where people gain and earn certain number of, almost like cash, for the more purchases that they make, and then they can apply that into their purchases later on. It helps build that brand loyalty. It helps keep them coming back. They love it. You love it. You just have to be careful it's not cutting too much into your bottom line, that you're losing any profitability. So that's something that has to be taken into consideration. And referral programs can be another great way for you to build brand loyalty and have them have an avenue for advocating for your practice. So referral programs is another very helpful thing. Not necessarily paid referral programs. Most patients don't expect some sort of payment, maybe just a thank you, but you can integrate lots of different things in that program. The sixth thing is to show up consistently online and in your e-newsletters, making sure that you are loving on your patients. You are sending them in Barrett Your Business Boss. I already have templates created and all content created for you to send out e-newsletters. It's really helpful to stay in front of them. It helps them know what's going on. Share a little bit of your personal side in your posts, some pictures. There are some really creative teams out there that are coming up. Well, I may run their social media, but then they come up with some really great things that are going on in the moment that gets integrated in, and it just helps people identify with them. So being open, honest, sharing what's going on, sharing your personality, sharing your team members, and making sure that you are consistent in terms of showing up online. Because remember, in social media, your stuff can get buried unless it has a huge amount of engagement with it. So you want to make sure that you are showing up regularly, you are using your own platforms to communicate with your patients on a regular basis. And for me, we do it weekly. I have some practices that do it monthly, some that do it every 2 weeks. I think weekly, I prefer that just because it keeps you top of mind, but you can do it any way. You can start out, we didn't start out weekly, and you can do that as well. Start out with just once a month and go to every other week, but always be consistent in your posts with at least 3 posts going out a week. I even encourage more. And then testing out the different platforms. There's lots of different how-tos on that's within membership, or we talk about that. So that was number 6. And number 7 is to obviously listen to your patients, listen to your team members, and make modifications. If you start a new program or you do something and it's not well received, it's important to figure out why. And like I say, sometimes you may create a program and you think it's going to be the best thing ever. It doesn't resonate with your patients, or maybe it doesn't resonate with your team and they're having a hard time promoting it or selling it. So you've got to take that into account and make tweaks and modifications over time. So those are your 7 steps of how to be the weight loss practice that people love. It is something to strive for. It is something that's totally enjoyable. And I encourage you to implement this. There is a free download that goes along with these trainings from this past month. Just go to weightlosspracticebuilder.com/free and you can find everything there. If you can't find it for some reason or you're having difficulty, just email me, Carol, Karol, at weightlosspracticebuilder.com. I can't wait to our first or next conversation. That's when it's really fun because we get into what's specific for your practice and what's going on. So I hope you have a wonderful day and enjoy these trainings, and I will talk to you next week. We are getting into March, about the minds of March, some of the things that you can learn from perhaps my mistakes or things I've seen happen over the course of the 20 years I've been in this profession, but try to avoid those minds of March. So it's going to be a fun topic. Can't wait to bring it to you. So have a great day. Talk to you soon.